Welcome back.
Welcome back to the channel. So we're here to give an update since we moved from Salinas. And so we're going to start off with the obvious rain and the blackouts that has been happening all over Ecuador. So, Steve, what is the schedule for Cuenca? I know they have different schedules for different sectors, zones. What do you know about it?
Well, as it has been basically for the whole country, there have been a certain amount of hours for pretty much everyone in the country. Actually, it was announced today they're going to go back to 10 hours because it had dropped down to 4. So what they usually do is split it up like 5 hours at a time. And it just depends on your sector. You have to look it up to see exactly when the cuts are for your area. So it really just depends on where you are exactly. You have to put in your information to know when your area is going to be out.
Okay. So when we arrived in Cuenca on September the 28th, that was the first day we were told that the rain had started. So the rain was already here while we was traveling to Cuenca. We didn't bring it with us.
Or maybe we did.
Who knows? But from that day, we had a lot of downpours, like storms and a lot of rain. There were rivers that were actually pretty dry.
Yeah.
It was more like a stream.
Trickle.
And we were at a Mega Maxi that day.
Yeah, Mega Maxi, Mega Kiwi.
Yeah. It poured.
Yeah.
And the locals, natives, were so glad to see the rain.
Yeah.
And it went from a trickle to a flowing river. Steve will put a clip of that so you can see how much.
Yeah, and that was just in the matter of, and that was like our second day here. Yeah, that was our second day here.
I think so.
And that was just like in a matter of a few minutes when that rain came. And I happened to be like waiting for the shine to come out of the store. So I was watching and it came down and people were like, oh, I'm so glad it's raining. And that river went from like a little stream to like the Amazon. It was incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, like she said, I'll throw that in here.
And so now that we've been here almost 2 weeks, the rain has tapered off. Where we are, we don't see a lot, but it is cloudy, so it could be raining in other places. Yeah. But it has decreased somewhat, and we still have power outages. Mm-hmm. And you were telling me this morning that they're going back from 8 hours.
No, they're going back from 4 to 10.
4 to 10 hours?
Yeah, because they shortened it when the country was getting a lot of rain like a week ago. But they said that basically the rain that has been happening recently hasn't been filling up the right reservoir or something. But they're going to have to extend those cuts to 10 hours, at least temporarily, to make sure it doesn't destroy the country's electrical system. So there's supposed to be like, I checked the weather today, it's supposed to be like an 80% chance around like 4 o'clock of rain. I don't know, if it's going to be in the right areas or not. Hopefully it is, but it is coming into the rainier season. So hopefully the country gets a lot more rain, so we don't have to worry so much about the power outages.
Okay, so let's just go with our first day of moving. When we were packing up. When we were loading the truck in Salinas to come to Cuenca. So our driver arrived about.
He was an hour early.
8 o'clock. So he was scheduled to come at 9. He got there at 8, and we didn't have any help because we had told the guys to come around 9 to help us load the truck.
A couple of the workers at our building.
The guy got there early, so Steve started to load the truck, and I was like, "Look, this is not going to work. We're gonna have to alternate to get this moving." And the guys came because he messaged them. They got there about 8:45.
It was 8:45, yeah.
Yeah. And so things started moving. I was on the truck. I was stacking, making sure I organized. And the truck was smaller than we anticipated.
It wasn't tiny.
Or
it wasn't
I
tiny.
should say we had more crap.
Yeah. That's a better. That's a better assessment.
Because we hadn't realized how much we had accumulated since we've been here, and we've been in Salinas. We were in Salinas for 2.5 years, and we had accumulated a lot of stuff. We had thrown away stuff. We had got rid of stuff, and it still was a lot of stuff. We had a lot of boxes, and I also have a lot of plants, so that plays a huge factor.
Yeah.
Because that was the last of the things we were loading. Now, time is passing by. It's almost 10 o'clock. And right at the very end, the power goes out.
Yeah.
A little before 10 o'clock, the power goes out.
And they're never early. Like, in Salinas, they were never early with the power cuts. It was always like a minute, 2 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes at the most
Afterwards, yeah.
Never early.
So the power cuts and the generator does not come on. They're in the elevator with the last of the load.
The last heavy load.
Stuck in the elevator because the generator didn't come on. And I'm in the truck like, where are they? Like, I know the power went out. And so the driver comes down because he walked down the stairs and he was like, the generator didn't come on. I was like, he said, I don't know. They're somewhere in the elevator on whatever floor. Yeah. What floor were you on?
Well, fortunately, fortunately, the power went out when we were at the bottom floor where we were going anyway. So it was like the lowest level of the garage in the building. That's where we were offloading the stuff anyway.
And they were stuck.
And that's where it stuck.
Which was great.
Which was great because we were able to just get off the elevator because we still had like a cart and like a bunch of stuff that needed to be like lifted, not like a bunch of one-person lifts. So it was very fortunate that we were on that floor when the power went out. One of the guys was mashing the call button, and the other worker that was upstairs came and opened the door, and that's when we realized that we were on the floor we needed to be on. It was like, oh my goodness, thank you, because I don't know how we're going to get this stuff down here.
So that was our last day in Salinas, and it was fortunate because I don't know how long it took them to get the generator working.
Yeah.
And we lived on the 13th floor. Yeah,
because we had to go back. I did have to go back up. Me and the guys who were helping and the driver went back up to get like the last, just gather up the last bit of stuff that we had to bring downstairs.
You said you was in the elevator with the last
No. That was the last heavy stuff.
Oh, okay.
That was the stuff that was the last set of stuff that required us to have a cart.
Okay.
So we had to go back up to get the last.
Okay.
Yeah, and then walk back down. And that was torture.
Yeah, we lived on the 13th floor, so it was unfortunate for the resident that lived there and people who had gone out walking, had breakfast, and they had to go back. Mm-hmm. The generator was not working, and if you lived on the 13th floor, higher like we did, and even the 8th floor is still high. Walking upstairs and you haven't been doing it since you've been there, yeah, it can be a little exhausting, tiring, and taxing on the body.
Carrying the rest of that stuff down was also taxing.
So that's what happened on our last day in Salinas. Generator stopped working, power out. We were trying to do everything because we knew the scheduled power outage was going to be at 10 o'clock.
Right, we were trying to get it done by 10. Yeah.
So that was that. Like I said, that was a plus and a minus. And we're off on our way to Cuenca, and as we're driving, we're going into fog, rain, and the driver did very well. I didn't get nauseous. I didn't have any altitude sickness when we got here.
Well, he wasn't like speeding and passing every car he could. So
yeah, he was very cautious.
He was pretty chill.
Yeah, with the furniture and stuff in the trunk. Yeah. In the truck. So we get here. It's raining, but not hard. Because I was like, oh my gosh, it's raining.
You got to move the stuff off the truck in the rain. Oh, yeah.
But it stopped, which is a good thing. And the movers that we hired to help unload, I think they unloaded the truck within 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was. It was two like kids. Like they had to be teenagers.
Yeah.
And an older guy. Maybe their granddad or something. I don't know. But that guy was hustling.
Yeah, they got everything in within 30 minutes, and we were absolutely exhausted,
Yeah.
but we were hungry too. So we got everything situated, and we met our friend Lorana for dinner um, somewhere near Central. And that was an awesome place. I hadn't had a stout beer in a while. It was so
I
good.
think I have a picture of that place.
Possibly.
Yeah.
And the beer was good. It was what I needed because I was absolutely tired. Okay, so altitude. When I woke up that morning, I noticed that the air is drier compared to when we were in Salinas. It's very dry here. I do have nosebleeds. I get nosebleeds, so I decided I needed a humidifier. Someone felt like, did I need a humidifier? Maybe it's just, I'm having altitude sickness. And I'm like, no, I can tell when something's dry and I'm feeling it. So I go to the store and I find a humidifier. They're small, very tiny. It's similar to a diffuser, but they have a lot of those. But I was actually looking for a humidifier. I found one, used it at night. It helped tremendously. I slept better. I didn't feel as dry when I woke up that morning. And someone feels like they need one too now, considering I offered, and he was
Well, I
like,
didn't want the air just blowing in my face, even though it's a humidifier. Like the humidifier she has is like a little fan, it's like a little swamp cooler. So it blows air, but
and
it's like
it's
humidified air.
wonderful.
But I don't want that because it's cool here, so I don't need a fan blowing on me
I
right in
do.
my face.
I do.
Well, yeah, okay, but I don't.
Because it
So
it helps me. I've had less hot flashes in a day than I have when I was in Salinas. Like I had literally maybe 10 to 12 hot flashes sometimes in a day. And now I may get one or two. And especially at night, I was having maybe three or four during the nighttime. I sleep through the night.
or if I say something annoying.
That's a lot. So that makes me have more hot flashes. But anyway, I have less. I may have had one during the night, but I really have slept throughout the night without waking up with the hot flash. So that's a plus,
Yeah.
a
But
big plus.
going back to the humidifier,
Humidifier, it's
I
amazing.
I would probably get one for like my side of the bed, but not one like she has. If I find one that's like one of those old school ones that just kind of just sends a little steam up without blowing air on me,
I
then
haven't found one. I
yeah.
mean, it's for me, it's cooling, and I don't feel
Yeah.
as dry.
I don't need cooling. I just need moisture.
So you want a steamer.
Yeah.
So maybe the diffuser may help because they do.
Yeah.
And you can add a little essential oil to it. So we may get a diffuser for him. I'm not buying one of those big ones to sit in the middle of the floor. This is too much. But altitude sickness, it still plays a part because I do get dehydrated really quick. And I was telling him I need to carry around a bottle of water constantly and drinking Gatorade.
I find myself getting really thirsty, and I drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
I find myself getting just when we're out and about because we've just been going constantly since we've been here, and we've been out all day almost for most of the days we've been here. And I find myself getting crazy thirsty. And I'm like, I know I shouldn't be thirsty, but I'm thirsty because it's so dry. It just sucks all the moisture out of you.
And for me, you have to be careful. I don't know. I have high blood pressure. So it can cause my high blood pressure to elevate, the numbers to elevate. And I can feel, I don't have a lot of energy. And fatigue, that's the word I'm looking for. I find myself sometimes feeling fatigued, and I just have to stop. And like I need something sweet, I need some water, I need some food to replenish my energy. And so that's just something I've experienced for myself.
So the lesson here is it is dry here, and being hydrated is one of the best things you can do to fight altitude sickness. So just make sure you're drinking plenty of water, plenty of liquids with plenty of electrolytes too. So even for me, I don't buy like Gatorades and stuff. I just put a little Himalayan salt in my bottle of water and go with that. And you find yourself being a lot more hydrated if you put some electrolytes in your whatever you're drinking.
Yes, because I wasn't doing that, and it was just flowing. It was just flowing through
Wasting
me.
water.
Yeah. So he told me to put some salt, Himalayan salt, and I realized at that point I felt better, and I wasn't going to the bathroom as often.
Yeah.
So I was being hydrated.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, since we're already talking about hydration and water. The water here, far as when you're taking a shower,
Different.
is the water is hard. At least here in this house where we are.
Yeah, where we are.
The water is hard. Hard with the hard D.
Yeah.
Compared to Salinas, the water was soft. It felt like it was moisturizing my body, and we didn't have to use as much moisturizer.
Yeah, you could get away in Salinas. You could kind of just get away with putting lotion on your elbows and like in between your fingers or whatever. But if you put it everywhere, like it will kind of last all day.
Yeah.
In Salinas. Here, no lie, I can put on good lotion, like the good Nivea lotion, and as soon as we leave the house, I'm talking about right after the shower, and as soon as we leave the house, maybe 10 minutes later, it's like my hands are dry. They sound like sandpaper.
Yeah.
And you got to get used to it.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's a hard.
It was like that in Alaska.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Instantly ashy. It didn't matter what you did. Instantly ashy.
Ashy Larry.
Yeah.
For those who know, Ashy Larry. So he was like, "Did you put on lotion?"
Oh yeah. Oh man. Woo. Put some more on. Put some layers on.
So yeah, it's almost like you gotta layer up. So I will be making my cream for us because it does last and it absorbs in our skin and it holds moisture. Because you do need that here. Yeah. You need to draw some moisture to this.
Yeah. You need a barrier on your skin to keep all your body juices from flowing out into the atmosphere.
And so, yeah, like I say, it may just be this house. I don't know.
Doubt it. I think it's the city.
It's the water is very hard.
The water is safe to drink, supposedly.
Well, I told him.
We've used. Okay, go ahead.
I told him. I said I smell the chlorine in the water, and it smells. It's not strong like the U.S., but I do smell it, and I have used it when I brush my teeth. Because in Salinas we didn't. No, it was a dry toothbrush or some Listerine to wet it. Yeah. But here, it seems very safe, and we,
Although our water pitcher is like a
we got a
filter. It's like a filtered water pitcher, just in case.
Just in case, because I'm very finicky.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we're going to talk about a condo versus a house.
There's a big difference. I probably don't have to tell anybody that, but for us, it was a big difference.
Yes, we do. We have a 2-story, and walking up these steps are not that easy. On our knees because we both have knee problems.
Yeah. Not easy on our lungs.
Well, definitely not easy on mine. The difference is we know because in the condo, when you take showers, it's instant. Hot water's there constantly. Yeah.
Because let me explain. Our particular condo had the entire building had a system for hot water, so there wasn't like any individual water heaters in any of the units. So it was all gas. Heated, but it was for the whole building.
Yeah. So the luxury of just turning the water on and instantly hot, and you do what you got to do, shave,
take your time.
Yeah. No.
Sing a song.
So in a house, it's been different. 2 minutes, I think.
Well, it's longer. I figured it out. So let me just say this. We had to figure it out. It took a little.
We're still figuring it out.
Right. It took a little trial and error because we have one of the instant calentadores. I always say it wrong. One of the instant hot water.
It's a gas fired tankless water heater.
Hot water heater. So we had to figure out how to use it. Number one. and how to get it. I've gotten it pretty good now to where I can have hot water for an entire shower. Because once you start making changes to the temperature, it shuts off the fire. And then you have to like restart it in the shower. So you have to like if you turn the hot water down at all, it's going to shut off the fire, and you got to turn it either all the way off and back on, or you got to turn it all the way off and back on.
It's confusing.
But we figured it out, so now I don't have to turn it off at all. At least me.
For me, I just get in and turn the hot water on and just leave it on. Forget the cold.
Yeah, I add a little bit of cold.
Get in there, and as it's warming up, you start washing.
Yeah.
Because as soon as it get to that peak,
it's hot.
It's hot. Now I've never, and I know it's been an ongoing. Men are like, how do women use this hot water?
Yeah.
This water is so hot. I've never got in the shower and you know how you turn your back and let it hit you like, oh,
yeah.
That's the first time I've been like, oh my God, that is really hot.
Yeah. Now we can change the temperature on the thing, but here's the thing. Whenever we've made like changes to it, it doesn't work right. So it was like, you know what? Screw it. We're going to keep it where it's at, where we know it works. This water's hot, but we know it works at this setting. So we're going to leave it here. Like I said, I've gotten a little better. I know how much cold water to add so that it doesn't shut off the fire in the water heater. So
that's the...
You gotta figure it out.
The condo versus the house.
It took us a week.
Now living in a house, you know, we do have a small yard, and it's very nice to have because I have my plants.
It's not this one behind us.
I have my plants. We're able to do certain things. It's quiet. The neighborhood is quiet. We definitely enjoy where we are. We're still trying to figure that out. We're northeast.
Yeah.
Near Ricarte. We could be in Ricarte. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Yeah. We're northeast. But the neighborhood is very quiet. For the first night in the house, it was so quiet.
Oh, yeah. Because we weren't used to that.
So let me tell you how quiet it was. Don't say that. That's how quiet it was. If I wanted to drop a pin, you would have heard ding.
Yeah.
Nothing, because in Salinas we heard the buses all the time,
or the garbage truck, or music, or something.
But it's quiet.
Yeah, we got used to that.
Noise.
It was like just background noise for us.
Yeah, you learn to adapt.
If you listen close enough onto a lot of our videos, especially ones I haven't added music to, you can hear something outside. I do a lot of background like noise cancellation stuff. Before I do that, you can definitely hear it. So just know it's a lot quieter here.
Yeah, it's a lot quieter here. And that's going into adapting. We are adapting to the quietness. We're adapting to the buses, the taxis. And let me go to the taxi. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the meter is on with the taxis here.
At least they have meters.
Do they charge by the second? Because I'm telling you, it starts at 55. By the time you get not even down to the corner, he picks you up. Let's say he picks you up at the shopping mall. By the time he get to the street, you know it's not that far. It's literally probably 15 feet. It is at 50. It's at 58. Yeah. It's like seconds.
It counts pretty fast.
It's seconds.
But the city isn't as big as you might think it is. So it doesn't take as long to get to places as you think.
It's counting seconds.
But it's still
I'm used
reasonable.
To it's reasonable.
Yeah.
But what is it going by? It's not going by miles and it's not going by kilometers, is it?
No, I think it's really just time. It's just the
seconds.
time. Yeah, I think it's maybe
seconds.
I don't know if it's 1 second.
He doesn't pay attention.
It might be every couple of seconds. I'm gonna check next time.
No, he gets in the taxi and look out the window. And I'm looking at the meter like, this, it's just said 57, 58, 59.
Here's the thing.
It's like 57, 58, 59, 60. Then it pause.
Here's the thing. It's in all of them. So what are we going to do?
So since we've been here, we did attend a newcomers luncheon that was invited. We were invited by one of our Facebook subscribers. not Facebook, I'm sorry, YouTube subscribers.
Yeah.
Christian.
Yep.
Okay.
But actually, the first guy who ran into us when we first moved to Ecuador, him and his brother in Guayaquil, just walked in and hey, we recognize you guys. We had like 200 subscribers at the time.
Yeah, that was unique. Yes. So he invited us to the newcomers Cuenca group.
It was just the newcomers luncheon. I can't remember what the group association was.
So we attended because we were already going into Central anyway, and it was on our way there, and met another subscriber, Tiffany, who was a huge resource of information and gave us a lot of information and tips. And also the group gave a lot of information and resources for newcomers for as fundraisers, charities, rental properties, a lot of
activities
that is happening. And there's a lot of Facebook groups that you can join here in Cuenca. And I just joined Thriving in Cuenca, Crafty in Cuenca. It's a lot of them. I think it's Cuenca restaurants and meetups.
I'll let her do all that. I do enough with the videos and answering like comments and stuff like that. So being on Facebook groups is just it's not my thing. It really isn't.
Anyway, so those are just you can just put those put Cuenca in Facebook, and it'll bring up a list of Facebook groups that if you're living in Cuenca, you want to join and be a part of. Now, we did our first order for Amazon here in Cuenca since the $5 flat fee. I've seen a lot of people on Facebook ordering from Amazon since the flat fee.
Right.
We were already ordering from T and the Media. Say it again.
T and the Mia.
What he said.
We ordered from T and the Mia. We got our order.
And we've ordered from Amazon too.
Yeah.
Where we have it shipped to Miami and then it's straight here.
When we ordered straight from Amazon, it came straight to us. It was the other orders that we did from like Walmart and Target that we sent to Miami.
Oh yeah. So we did order from Amazon the first time, and it was a huge custom fee, shipping fee, all of that.
Yeah.
Now
it came fast though.
Now we did the order for the flat fee, and certain things that you order fluctuate the cost. I don't know if it has to do with a certain cutoff amount or certain weight.
Right.
But
and like the 4x4, and then like if you've already used, because I know I've already used some of the 4x4 for this year under my cedula. So trying to figure out like what made the price jump. We had a list of things, right? It was like 12 things in the cart. So we're like, okay, well, what is it if we order all of this? And it went from like one price and then it tripled once it added like the shipping and everything. Right. Like it was crazy. It was insane. So we started taking out items.
We just took everything out.
And
just started placing 1-2 things at a time.
What do I really want now?
Yeah. And then you put something in and that you think doesn't weigh anything.
Right.
And all of a sudden the price doubled.
Right. So like for example, let's say the order was like $150, right? With like 4 items. So then you add one more item that's only like $20, the item. But then the price goes from like $150 to like $320.
And you're like, what?
I'm like, what? Hold on.
And it's part of the flat fee. Now that's the thing. Right. It's part of the flat fee.
Yeah. But then another item we add that might have costed more didn't make it jump like that. So we ended up just ordering 5 things first to see, because they didn't add any extra fees or anything like that. And hopefully we'll get those. We would have done this before we left Salinas, but we weren't sure exactly where we would be sending stuff here.
Yeah.
So that's why we had to wait.
You can choose drop-offs. And we chose to have a drop-off at Cerventrega.
Yeah. One nearest to us.
That's nearest to us. But I know I've seen where people said they have had it delivered directly to their home.
Yeah. And so that's going to be like my next little experiment. I'm going to order something, maybe one of those items that we have left in our cart, I might order it straight to the house just to see. And the other ones I have go to Serve and Traeger because I know it's going to go there.
Yeah. And then usually, hopefully, I know there are different delivery services,
Yeah.
and whichever one works with Amazon just depends. And I guess also where you live. But like we said, Serving Traeger is close by because we passed by it, so we stopped by to get the address. If you
Yeah.
don't know the address, you can always go to the delivery company and ask for the address and see if you can put it in your shipment for
Right. When you
Amazon
order, you got to put something in there in
or
Amazon.
delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The house, most of the houses don't have like
Numbers.
the numbers, so you can't just
It's
say
like cross streets.
Right. It'll be like whatever cross street. So that's the reason why we didn't go for that first, even though we know where we are. So that'll be an experiment.
No, we know some like the area, but
Right.
we don't know if they're going to deliver to
Right.
this street or
And
that
Serve and
street
Traegers, they're usually pretty good with like sending you a message
when stuff is on the
when
way.
it's on the way, so
Yeah.
you can tell them exactly where you are. So that's why I said I'll do a little experiment with that.
But yeah, so far, the weather,
Different.
the weather is different, but it's great. Let's talk about Stephen first day out. He tells me, LaShawn, make sure you get your jacket, the rain jacket, because you never know. It'll rain anytime. Make sure you get your jacket.
Because she's perpetually hot. So sometimes she may not leave with a jacket. And I'm the type, I'm gonna be ready in case it rains. So I'm gonna have a hoodie or a rain jacket with me. But anyway, go ahead.
So we go out. We come back. I still have my jacket. Mm-hmm. He was hot. He was like, oh my God, I don't even know why I put this on.
We had to come back. We had bought a bunch of stuff. We had to bring it back.
I don't know why I had to, why I took this. So we go back. This is when we go to Mega Maxi. And this is when we were talking about how it poured, it stormed in the rain. Yeah. Well, someone left their jacket at home.
Yeah. I set it down when we came back.
And the temperature dropped. And it was pouring rain. Yeah. Like nonstop. And we had this cart.
I had a cart full of stuff from Kiwi, and I couldn't go anywhere. And I was kind of the area that I was sitting is like exposed to the outside, even though it's covered. So I had short sleeves on. It was like windy and rainy and cold, and I'm miserable. And she's, taking her time in Mega Maxi.
It was not my fault.
I was dying out there.
He insisted that I take a jacket.
But that was my fault because I left it at home. And I told her she had her jacket.
I sure did.
Because I made sure she had it.
I was covered. You didn't make sure I had it.
I did.
You asked. But anyway, I had my jacket. I was definitely covered because it was pouring.
Yeah. Pouring.
And he was like, okay, so the taxi took a minute to come.
Yeah.
And so we had to, I said, go over there by, what was it? Sukasa.
Yeah.
Stand by the door because it had a little
heat coming out of the Sukasa. That was awesome.
And he was like, oh my God. Okay. That's it.
And like I said, I couldn't go into the stores because we had this big cart full. We had 2 carts full of stuff that we had to condense into 1 cart, but I couldn't go anywhere. And when the taxi finally did come, so the rain slacked off. And I'm thinking the taxi was coming. Well, it wasn't. So we're waiting because you have to, walk that heavy cart down this little slippery ramp. As soon as the taxi comes.
Okay, mind you, he had been communicating back and forth with the taxi, and he was like, "Why does this dude keep going further away?"
Communicating. Okay. I'm looking at him like he's going further away.
And so as soon as he pulled up, the bottom fell out.
Yeah. Because I ended up calling. Remember, I called a different one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm talking about when he pulled up, before he opened the trunk, it was just like, whoosh. So yeah, I'm miserable now. Like just throwing stuff in the car. Oh man, that was a pain. I learned my lesson. I always have my jacket. I have my little knapsack, and it's always got my rain jacket curled up in it.
So I will say this: every time we've gone out, it is not raining. When we get ready to come back and we have bags,
it's been raining.
It is pouring.
Yeah, except for like a couple times, but yeah, for the most part, especially that first week we were here, every day. Every day we went somewhere. As soon as we were ready to come back, it was raining.
It was raining. So I told him, if we're going to go out, we need to be out of the house by 9:00 and be back before 2. Because somewhere around 2 to 4, it's pouring.
Raining, yeah.
But just so you know, there are no complaints about us moving to Cuenca. We really, the time we've been here, we've enjoyed it. We have seen so much by riding the bus. Steve's going to do a video on
using the Move It app. How it isn't quite as it's good, but yeah.
With anything, trial and error.
It's got problems.
With trial and error, and we just got we're adapting.
Yeah.
As you all know, from the very, very beginning when we started doing YouTube videos, the one thing Steve constantly talked about was getting chickens. Chicken this. He's going to get his chickens. And
I said I was going to get. That's what I wanted.
He was going to get chickens.
Eventually.
So he has altered that plan, the idea, and now you are working with what?
Quails. Quaternix quails. So you don't need a lot of space for them. They're not expensive to keep. They make good food if you want to eat them. They lay eggs, and so I'm starting my little bird farm. I've already got some. Got 5 right now. I'm gonna get a few more after I get a new cage. So that video, by the time you see this, the first video will actually be out already. So check that out. And yeah, I'm kind of happy to have my birds.
Yeah, and so of course I have way more succulents than I thought because they reproduce and I split them up and everything. But I will be starting my herb garden and my vegetable garden, and I am so excited about that. And the soil, let me just talk about the soil here. The soil here is much richer and darker than the soil I got in Salinas. I don't even know if it was soil that I bought when I got from Salinas. It looked like it was shoe soles and trash.
Those bags of soil in Salinas, there might have been anything in there. It was like mostly leaves and sticks and like a little bit of dirt.
Yeah, it wasn't. Now the soil that I got here looked like it's compost. It's very rich, and like I said, and you were saying it could be part of volcanic.
It could be like because it's like a volcanic country, so it could have some volcanic soil, but it's no matter what, it looks better than the soil.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
And I've already started planting some of my vegetables. One or two things that I have always looked for was okra, tomatoes, collards. So I have those being planted: turnip greens, cabbage, broccoli, cilantro, basil.
Jeez, how much you got?
I got a lot.
Okay.
I'm planning on producing my own vegetables and that I can go out there and just pick off the bush and tree. But we will document the quail process and my garden and herb process. And
as long as as well as our view of the city, we want to kind of visit places that you haven't already seen, if that's possible. So look for some videos and maybe some odd, strange places that you haven't really seen as much in Cuenca. Because let's be honest, there's plenty of Cuenca content, and we're kind of different anyway. So look for something a little different.
We do whatever.
We just do whatever we feel like doing.
That's it. We're introverts, and we don't go places. But when we do, we want to go to unique places. And things that interest us. Yeah,
we usually go places that interest us, and not necessarily to go like film videos. Like usually filming a video is like a afterthought. When we're somewhere like, hey, we probably should have been filming this.
we do a lot of experiencing versus documenting.
Right. I feel like you don't get the experience if you're just there to take pictures or videos.
We live in the moment. And then like we went to a restaurant and we was like, we're gonna show pictures of what we're eating. And
No.
when I tell you we're halfway through, we're like, dang, yeah. The food was so good we forgot.
Yeah.
So you may see some videos or information on what we're eating, and a lot of times you won't. You'll probably get the end result.
We're gonna have a lot of really good meals that you will never know about. So we will forget to take pictures. Whatever. Shout out our friend Randy Poindexter, who suggested a restaurant for us to visit here in Cuenca, Le Petit Jardin, and it was great. Thank you so much, because that was a great date that I took LaShawn on.
A lunch date.
Yes, great lunch date. They're only open on the weekend.
Yeah, we did not know. It fills up fast.
Yeah, luckily we got there early.
Yeah, we were like the second customers they had, and the food was.
It was great.
Very
Service
good.
was great. The people were great. The just the restaurant and the property, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it's tucked away.
Yeah, it's
very tucked away.
Taxi driver got lost going there.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure some people who watched our videos may have already been, but for those who hasn't, it's a great restaurant to check out.
Yep.
And like he said, it's only open on the weekends, and he made reservations.
I made a reservation, yeah.
Because it's
that's the best thing to do.
It's not very big. It's a small restaurant. But we got plenty more. We are going to try a friend of ours, Koshila, has told us to try out a Thai restaurant that's here. And we both love Thai. So we're going to try a Thai restaurant that has been recommended. And I think there's we
also love Indian food. If anyone knows a really good one in the area, leave it in the comments.
Yeah. What is it? Mediterranean?
You like Mediterranean too.
Yeah. Mediterranean. And we heard there's a great Chinese restaurant here. We don't remember the name, but if you know, can you please drop it in the comments. Any suggestions for as food restaurants?
Yeah,
because we're definitely foodies.
Yeah. Now here's the thing: we will absolutely frequent from the smallest to the biggest Ecuadorian restaurant. So you don't even have to suggest those to us, because we're going to go to those anyway.
But if you
know a good one, let us know.
Yes, please drop in the comments. We love to support locals, and we know there are some American restaurants here. We're not going to frequent a Hardee's, McDonald's.
Maybe KFC.
Definitely KFC.
Yeah, maybe KFC.
Yeah. But any suggestions, please leave in the comments. And thank you again for supporting us. And we will try to give you as much content as possible as we travel throughout Ecuador. And
we'll probably do a live after this.
We'll probably do a live.
Soon after this video airs. Within a week or so after this video airs, we're going to do a live.
So if you have any questions, comments, please write them down and have them ready for the live. We will try to answer as many as possible and as honest about our stay in Salinas and our life here in Cuenca.
Right. If there's only two things we're not going to really answer, is exactly where we live and how much we pay. So heads up.
Okay. That's been said. So again, thank you all for joining us, supporting us, watching our videos. We really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified when there's new videos being uploaded. And again, thank you to our members. We really do appreciate it. And let's push to 3,000 members.
Subscribers.
I'd
love to have 3,000 members. That would be awesome.
3,000
and then 10,000 and then 100,000. So anyway, thanks for watching.
Bye.